Now there should be sound. Can you hear me? Do you hear the music and me? Bit music, a bit of myself. So, how does it sound? Nice. Is it too loud? Is it okay? Before just music, yeah. I know. For some reason it switched to a different microphone, so I switched it back to this one. Okay. This software stuff, it's not always easy. Let's turn this a bit more to me. Okay. So guys, what you wanna do? Do you have some suggestions? I have an idea, because these guys from Metrolina Martial Arts, they I did ask them to do a video about pressure testing eye jab, and then they did a video and I said I'm gonna comment over that video, but I didn't comment over it. I made just another video about finger jabs, and maybe we can go through their video and see what I have done and what I think about that. So I would say we start with that, and then we're gonna see how we're gonna continue answering questions and stuff. So let's look for them. There they are. So this music, turn down the music. Okay, so okay, I think it's this one. Yes, that one. So are you ready? So that's the video. Let's switch that. Okay, so just for information, I said it before, but you couldn't hear me. I'm eating a bit because I haven't eaten anything since 6 hours. So I have to eat and stream. Roland said, Metrolina does not look very skilled. He's under Baliki and Innocent who teaches trapping. Yes, I know. Okay.
Previously on Metrolina Martial Arts.
Let's...
Maybe also in that C- category, C-.
So my recent video that I posted with Icy Mike on Jeet Kune being a C- in terms of self-defense. Here's the thing, right?
Jeet Kune is C- in terms of self-defense. So the first comment on that. What Jeet Kune? So Jeet Kune that Ron Baliki and Innocento are teaching, because apparently this is the Jeet Kune they are talking about, and they are rating this as C-, or let's say this is like 99.9% of Jeet Kune that is spread around the world. So sound is on, but it's low. Okay. So now should be louder. Okay, and this is the browser. So I'm going to turn off the music for this because this interferes. Let's go. Just music, pause music, and then we have them. So this should be better.
You said that Jeet Kune Do is a C-. Discussing with him, pretty much adding a sprawl would fix a lot of the problems that Jeet Kune Do has. Here's all you gotta do.
add the fucking sprawl in there. You know what I mean? And you've got a pretty robust self-defense.
So here's the first mistake. Like most of the people were mistaking sport fighting in the ring versus self-defense. And using a sprawl against the tackling can be a valuable tactic in a ring because you're much more limited there in terms of using your strikes, using your kicks, and choosing targets. And although when we Tommy has done a seminar it was 2010 in Italy, in Rome. I was there, and he was showing a sprawl as well when somebody is tackling you, and then he did that. So you can use this in a situation where you are already close to your opponent. So and he goes down, and you just pull your legs away because you can't use footwork from there. You're not in on guard and anything. So in this case, you can use this, but because you're limited in terms of choosing targets, so you're in sports, you can't go to the eyes, you can't go, you can pull the ears, you can't even twist a head, because if somebody tackles you and you have his head here at your hip, you literally could take his chin and snap the neck. Okay, so in self-defense situation, you have far more options, and when you have no options or you're very limited in options, then you have to do things that are available in this set of rules. Okay, so
Answer, yes.
So what I decided to do was at my home dojo, contact some local wrestlers, namely this guy named Jeffrey, who is one of my blue belts. He wrestled from the time he was like 5 to the time he was like now, which is he's in his 30s now. Maybe early 30s. I'm actually not sure how old he is. And I also got in touch.
I did eye jab once, a blue belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt. He wanted to see how fast I was, and I said okay. And he just started to make a step towards me, and I instantly eye jabbed him, and I actually hit his eye. Not too deep, so he wasn't really injured, but he his eye was red for the rest of the day. So okay, one scene you can see here.
Now,
So when the
maybe
guy
early
goes
30s.
there,
I'm actually not
you see here.
sure how old.
So his head is here. Look where his hands are. So what I would do in this situation, if I didn't go away, I would instantly switch my hand to his face, okay, and push my fingers as deep as I can into his eyes, okay, and then it's finished. This guy is over. I mean, just, you can test it for yourself. You take your finger, you take your eye, and you start pushing, and then push, and tell me at what moment you can't push anymore because the pain is so strong. In this case, I'm pushing the finger in your eyes and I don't stop, okay? So, let's say, much better sound, that's nice. That's nice. Roland, did Jesse Glover or Ted Wong have more influence on Tommy? Jesse Glover had probably more influence on Tommy in sense of fighting mentality, okay? Ted Wong had more influence on Tommy in sense of body mechanics, if that make any sense. Using footwork, using when it comes to use to pure body mechanics, but not so much on application of those. Okay, so. Santo never had faith in Jeet Kune because he studied like 5 other martial arts after Bruce died. Yes, and also I don't know if that's the case. Why, or it's just a money thing, or he was just thinking that nobody can achieve this kind of skill that Bruce had, because in many interviews you can hear him say that like. Bruce was unique and nobody else can do this. Also, Santo is very much into his heritage, so Filipino martial arts and this stuff. So this may be also a reason. Justin, I can't understand how someone can say that about Jeet Kune when Jeet Kune is designed scientifically and extensively for self-defense. You're right, but here's the problem. Is this what they think that's Jeet Kune? Is this also really Jeet Kune, or is this something else? So that's the question. So let's see. Okay, just remember, somebody comes here, go to the eye here. Free hand, go to the eye. You can with your left, you can hold his hand so he can't get away, and with your right, you go to the face and to the eyes immediately. We did actually an exercise back when I was teaching in a sports hall. We had like this, this thick mats where you can throw guys on it, and there's no problem being hurt. And we actually train this kind of stuff. So you place yourself in front of the mat, so the mat is behind you, and the guy runs at you and he tackles you. And because he literally runs at you, there's a lot of energy, and he throws you across the mat. And what we have done when this happens, I could really literally see how my students, during their flying mid-air, during this, they're going into the eyes of the opponent. So you don't have to wait until you are on the ground, or you just go immediately to the eyes.
Old he is. And I also got in touch with his brother, Dalton, because they're brothers and they train with me. And we decided to do a dumb science experiment because, well, according to Icy Mike, I have a firm grasp of things.
My good friend Ed is a
That's the first time I'm watching this video, actually.
Jeet Kune instructor and a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor. And I think he has the best handle on like how a lot of things could happen, and he has his mind open to like self-defense.
When I hear that somebody is Jeet Kune instructor and grappling or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor, the reality is, really, to master any martial art, especially Jeet Kune, it takes so much time. And how do you even have a time to train something else? So it's always, you train one thing and you train the other thing. You have to spend time here and you have to spend time here. And the more you do this, the less you do this, and vice versa. So, haven't seen Jeet Kune instructors that do multiple martial arts and that they have impressed me in doing anything, actually. Okay, let's go.
Carolina martial arts. Yeah, so we had this comment from Thomas Marx, who is an original Jeet Kune guy out of Germany, and he basically was asking me to pressure test the finger jab with either a kendo mask. I have a HEMA helmet, and kind of really pressure test the finger jab and adding in the sprawl. Pressure testing the sprawl is easy because, and you'll see here that I do with Jeffrey. Pressure testing the eye gouge is much harder, and we'll get into that as well. We're talking about self-defense here, okay? Which Jeffrey's a specialist in, right?
Yes.
So good answer, yeah.
So, pressure testing eye gouge or finger jab is not really that hard. So you have to have protection, fencing mask, or we have a similar mask, like fencing mask headgear. Or you take protection goggles, and as soon as you hit it, you have to stop, because that's the way how you can test it. So as soon you hit the goggles or you hit the mask on the spot, you stop. So if you want to pressure test it really realistically, then you would have to hit the eye without of the mask. So, but you naturally you cannot do this, because you would injure your training partner or the guy who is you testing with. Okay, so I can't understand. So Roland again, is there a website listing all IFO instructors worldwide? Yes, it's on my website. I'm gonna show it to you afterwards. Neil F, suggestions for body conditioning for pain, shins, elbows. Okay, stop doing this. The reason why you don't want to condition your body parts is, first of all, you don't need to condition your shin because you're not hitting so much with the shin. In Jeet Kune, you hit with your foot, and you wear shoes basically, so you don't need to condition this for that. You hit in the groin, you hit maybe solar plexus, or you kick in the stomach, or sometimes to the head. So you don't have to condition this. And side kick is the main technique for the legs as a target for knees. You don't have to condition this either. I have done a video. I can easily break a baseball bat with a side kick. No problem whatsoever, and I don't have to condition anything because I wear shoes. Okay, so you only have to condition your shin if you are limited in choosing of your targets, and you have to you're forced to hit to upper leg, and so this Muay Thai is again sport fighting. Only thing you should condition are your knuckles. Okay, so you should condition your knuckles. You see the difference between my left and my, let's see here. This is my right. This is my right hand. Okay, you see, maybe you see the difference there. So, okay, like this. Okay, so you condition your knuckles. You can, if you want, you can condition your fingers as well. But knuckles or your whole hand, okay, you can condition it. But in terms of taking shots, I won't spend too much time with this. Okay, you can do this with gloves, but remember, you know, every slightly hit to your head kills your brain cells. Literally kills your brain cells, and conditioning body parts can lead to how do you say this, building of blood, like small blood clots. How do you say? So this can yeah, this can ruin your health as well. I have to look up off the board how this says in English. So body conditioning for pain, shins, elbows. Okay, on elbows you don't use elbows like so often in Jeet Kune. Only if the opponent is behind you or on the side or behind you, so you would use elbow. Other than that, are other IFO teachers with YouTube or Instagram pages to follow? No, only me and John Paul Daly. I think we are only two with YouTube pages. But but the thing in IFO is you're actually allowed to have a YouTube channel only if you are intermediate instructor, I think, because there are 3 types of instructor: apprentice instructor, intermediate, and then full instructor. And I'm full instructor, and then I think when you are intermediate instructor, you are allowed to run a YouTube channel. I'm not sure that much about that. Scar tissue. What's about scar tissue? So let's watch what
we're talking specifically about Buji and Nowtech to defend a double leg, okay? And in my humble opinion, it doesn't work. Because Jeffrey, how long have you wrestled?
Since kindergarten.
And you're old now, so that's been a long time, right? And then he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu under, I mean, Master Carlos and that. But anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. The thing is he knows how to do a double leg. So real quick, just do a double leg on me. I'm gonna fall. Oh, that's perfect. Double leg. So real quick.
Look at this distance. Look at this distance, man. This is totally nonsense. Okay, I have nothing against you guys from Retro Arena, but this distance, when I'm close to my opponent like this, I have already done a finger jab. You understand that? I don't wait for this guy to come this close and then wait for him to do an action. So what I do, if he's this close, because you only have to extend your arm and you're touching him already. You don't even have to do a step. This is a mistake number one in sport fighting. This is far too close. If you're this close and you're waiting for me, I'm gonna punch your chin 5 miles away and you're gonna do nothing against it because it's far too close. You have no reaction time from there. Nobody has. So you have to, instead of standing here, you have to stand here. So now he has to do a step to prepare his technique, and while he's doing a step, he is getting a finger jab. Okay, so guys, this is Jeet Kune Do basics number one. Okay. Oh, I'm so when I see this, then I could really, because this is literally what you teach a beginner student when he comes, is teaching his stance, how to stand, and how to keep the distance. It's beginner training. Yeah, hi John Paul, nice to see you here. Reaction lag time, yeah, but this close, man. Nobody can. If you're Bruce Lee and you stand this close and you get attack, and he is Bruce Lee and this is me, and I punch Bruce Lee from this distance, there's Bruce Lee can't do nothing about this. Okay, nobody can. I can't. Tommy can't. Bruce Lee can't. It's too close. It's a major mistake. This is like going fighting against a tank with a rifle. You don't do that simply. You don't do that. Why is he wearing a skirt? No, this is it's not shirt. I think these are pants. Well, okay, let's continue.
Double leg on me. I'm gonna fall.
Now, perfect. Now, okay. So even
do
this,
a double leg. So
even
real
this,
quick, just do a double leg on me. I'm gonna.
And now these hands should go to the head. No waiting, no second, no millisecond waiting. You see that this guy is falling down, so you can track him with your hands. You just don't wait. Guys, this is no sport fighting. Please understand this.
Fall. Oh, that's perfect. Okay? And that's like leg reach outside and everything. Ah! Strong hand. So he does it again.
Too close.
Super easy,
Too
right?
close.
Eh, he could probably do that in his sleep. Probably, right?
Not probably.
Yeah. So if you think about this, right? If I'm here and I finger jab and groin kick you, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. You're wearing a cup though, right? So
Why do this?
What?
finger jab you, I'm gonna go to your forehead. But you come in to do the double leg.
And then you can switch. From here you can switch again. Okay? What are you waiting for? Okay? And this finger
but you
jab.
come in to do the double leg.
I'm really sorry, because this is not pressure testing. This is slow motion. Okay? When I do the finger jab, my finger jab is 10 times quicker than any guy's reaction time. And for him to wait for a finger jab and to tackle me, there's no... By the time he starts to tackle, my finger jab is already back. Because finger jab is not like this. That's the duration of finger jab. That's it, okay? Then you want to do under this? You want to go under that? There's no way. If you do this properly, it's not possible. If you're too slow and you you give him time, like in trapping, you give people time. You let them trap. That's why when trapping works. Okay. Bruce or Muhammad Ali even got hit at touching distance. Of course, man. There's no way you can avoid that. Okay. It's important to keep your distance. Thoughts on Bruce Lee Seattle student James DeMille? I mean, for real, Seattle period. I have no interest in that at all because it's not Jeet Kune Do. What did you notice about Octavio Quintero that he can improve upon? Oh, I'm not gonna tell you. Body mechanics, application, tactics, and strategy. Okay, probably.
Shit. Here, for him to just be able to grab. Eric,
So,
do it.
what is this? What's this kick?
But you come in to
That's
do the
okay.
double leg.
That's no kick. That's... I don't even know if I want to watch this further, because that's no application. There's no pressure testing. I mean, John, you have seen that video. Does it change during this next 15 minutes or so? Let's go forward.
Cool. And I like worried about throw leg here. And I sprawl. Like, that's the double leg here.
You sprawl.
And I sprawl.
Okay, he still has got his legs, or your legs. He still can hold you, and he still can prevent you from getting up. And while you're here, his body comes and kicks your head from here to the door. Okay? Because in street fighting, you rarely are gonna have one opponent, because you have just to think about this. When you are in a street fight encounter, you are usually up against a group of people, because nobody is in a street by himself, alone, standing around and attacking somebody. It's usually 2 friends, 3 friends, a gang or something. So they together they feel stronger, and that's when these things happen. But rarely you're gonna go 1v1 in street. I mean, in real street encounter where you don't know the people. I mean, it really happened to people to guys from our organization. So it's not something, we have no experience in that. Okay, this is how this works. So you have, most of the time you have multiple opponents. And sure, for sure, one guy could try to tackle you, but that's why you keep the distance and you do the retreating step. You go away from him, because this is the fastest way you can move backwards, and not this. And you can even avoid getting hit with a sword by using this footwork. This is actually what fencers use, this kind of footwork. And I have done a video of this, and we're gonna watch a video that I have done after this. I'm kind of fired up. No testing, John Paul. No testing in this clip. He waits for the takedown. So that's the problem. So that's why I'm not gonna continue watch this video, and we're gonna go immediately to my video. So that's what we're gonna do now. I mean, probably most of you guys have already seen that video, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So for the stream in the future, people can actually see what I mean. And let's gonna do it. So I have to find it. I think it's this one. What if missed with the eye attack? This is the video. Yes, baby. Okay. So let's answer some questions. Daka Taino. I hope I say your name right. It gets worse. Nice. Tommy Noble. There's no resistance against that double leg tackle at all. Yes, that's true. That's the main problem. Dilshan Kavinda. Look at their defense against the groin kick. Yeah, he grabs the leg. I mean, when you snap the kick. When you snap the kick, I've done testing of this. So I'm standing in a neutral position, and the other guy stands also in neutral position, and we are this kind of distance where you're actually too close, and I kick from there to the groin, and the other guy tries to just to get away from it, you know, and it's nearly impossible, okay, because it comes so fast. Sven. It's just MMA. Yeah, absolutely. No Jeet Kune. Roland Diaz. Is Tommy associated with other famous JKD instructor or the Lee family in America, or do they avoid him? Well, Tommy is certified under Ted Wong and Jesse Glover. And he was... Howard Williams was another instructor that he had like French relationships or friendship with him. He told me how Howard Williams used to call Tommy during the night, because in the United States it was already like morning, and he called Tommy up, and Tommy was still sleeping, and then they did. You called him in the middle of the night here in the UK, and they were talking a lot about Bruce Lee and Jeet Kune Do. So these three guys are probably the who have influenced Tommy the most: Jesse, Ted, and Howard Williams. And out of these three guys, Jesse probably the most. And well, Tommy was picked 2 or 3 times to do a Jeet Kune Do demonstration on Bruce Lee Foundation party or whatever it was. But I heard, or actually Tommy heard, that Shannon likes what Tommy does in terms of Jeet Kune Do, because Tommy knows a friend from Shannon. He has contact with her, but in terms of promoting Jeet Kune Do through Tommy, I don't think there's any interest from Bruce Lee Foundation or from Bruce Lee family, because they had a kind of dispute in the back. You know, Tommy is a guy, he always tells you in the face what he thinks, which may not always be the best idea. But that's how it is, and well, I mean, I don't know how things look in the future, but I don't think that like Shannon or Linda are that much interested in Jeet Kune Do. I don't know. I mean, if they are, then I'm wrong. Okay. What's the next one? Sprawl is a last-ditch effort. Avoid getting your back if you have failed to move. And yeah, that's absolutely. So that would be last resort, like a blocking a punch. So usually you would avoid getting hit. You would intercept, but you don't want to block a punch, because there's always a contact with a lot of force, and it can always fail. And also when you block a punch, this hand, instead of blocking, you know, could do something else that's more valuable. Yeah. So that was Infectious Man. Roland, can you also review your trapping video on this stream? I have many trapping videos. You mean the short videos or the full videos? I don't know if we're gonna have so much time. I planned like 2 hours for this stream. Could you use a low lead sidekick against takedown? No, you can't. If you kick into a low takedown with a low sidekick, you just simply give your leg to your opponent. So that's not a counter against a takedown, a low sidekick. What you can do, you can step back and kick a front kick under his chin to the head. So when he goes down, you kick like some. You see some in MMA sometimes when people get there's a takedown attempt. The guy uses a knee against the head of the opponent who does the takedown. If you go further back, you step back, you can actually use a front kick for this. Hi Karim, how are you, man? I came from Karim Davis' stream. He told us good Jeet Kune Do. Oh, okay. Because I see only Karim Davis. I don't see your account. I see Karim's account for this. YouTube is weird. They have to fix some things when it comes to rating. Roland Diaz, there are many phony Jeet Kune Do masters all over Eastern Europe or in Russia, and that not all over the world, okay, everywhere. So, have you seen Bruce Lee look-alike from Afghanistan? Yeah, he looks like Bruce. And to be honest, considering that he is probably only trained himself, he got really good like I say body fitness. Okay, if this guy was taught right, he may really be good at Jeet Kune Do. Let's watch the video. What happens if you miss with a finger jab? What happens if you miss with a side kick to the knee? What happens if you miss with a groin kick? All these questions I'm going to try to answer today. It's not only important in Jeet Kune to execute the technique, it's also important to use your footwork to angle off to your opponent and to recover from your technique. Okay, so what I just said there, it's not just important. Is this Karim? That's you. Okay, so then hi. So what I just say there, it's not just important to kick or to finger jab. So it's also important to move while doing this. So you don't do the static. If you do the static, it means you're too close to your opponent. So you have to use your footwork in order to cover the distance, or to move to the side or move backwards. You can actually finger jab and retreat at the same time. Okay, so you gain distance, finger jab the guy, and then you are actually in the same distance before he moved, and it's important to retreat your technique. So it's important to pull your technique back so it can't get grabbed and it can't get trapped, because grabbing or trapping is the same idea. It only works if you let the opponent. If you misjudge the distance, if you're bad in your distance, and your techniques are simply shitty. And by shitty, I mean you punch and then you let your technique just fall and don't retract your technique actively. Okay, so important, so you can't get easily countered from your opponent. If you use finger jab, this doesn't mean that you use a finger jab like this and then you stand still and you don't recover your technique. Of course, if you would miss and then you stand. So I show that, like when you do the finger jab and you wait too long with your hand, this is how do you say? Watch the video. I'm gonna look for this word up now. Technique. Of course, if you would miss and you hit his forehead or he waits and you have your technique too long outside, then he can do whatever he wants. He can punch you, he can kick you, he can even tackle you. And how a proper finger jab looks like. So I have exaggerated the long finger jabs, waiting too long. But the idea is the same. You finger jab and then either the finger jab is too slow or you retract it too slow, and how the proper finger jab looks like. Even I didn't even warm up myself here, or I didn't train. Most of my videos I do after class, after teaching. Okay, so he can kick you, he can even tackle you, and how a proper finger jab looks like. So now imagine he tries to tackle my finger jab. So now watch the distance and how a proper finger jab looks like. So now you see the distance. How far away I am from here, and this leg sorry guys, okay, I see you haven't seen anything. So let's watch it again. And you have your technique to use. It's not only important to use a finger jab like this. So you don't use it like this. You don't wait too long. And you don't recover your technique. And you can when you should tackle you, and how a proper finger jab looks like. Before you do the finger jab, okay? So you see here the distance. So this leg is your proportion, okay? So this is like your engine. And this leg is actually the one that dictates the distance from your opponent, not the front leg, it's the rear leg. So many people don't know that the rear leg is actually the leg that controls your distance to the opponent. How is that? And that's because if this leg is here, now I push, I can only step to here with my front leg. But if the rear leg would be, let's say, here, then I could do much further step to the opponent. So your rear leg controls the distance to your opponent and not your front leg. And now, you see? When you should tackle you, and how a proper finger jab looks like. You see how I bring my rear leg here, and then I push forward. Bam. When you shoot out your... tell me and how a proper finger jab looks like. How you can tackle this. When you shoot out your finger jab, you go here. How short this finger jab is. And not, okay, and not what these guys from Metrolina Martial Arts have shown. And in a real fight, what we forget always, in a real fight, you don't know the technique that comes. I'm not gonna say to him, I'm gonna finger jab you now. I may kick you, I may groin kick you, I may side kick you, I may do a finger jab. So how are you gonna react? And trust me, even if you know that the finger jab is going to come, the best chance to avoid the finger jab is going backwards, okay? And not trying to go under, because this comes so quick and so fast. There's no reaction time. Okay, why not fake finger jab and come with the punch flowing like water? So there's, you can fake a finger jab, but you would fake a finger jab or a punch, a lead punch, only to distract the opponent or to cover distance, and then do a second technique. And the second technique would usually be on the other line. So you fake high and you attack low. Okay, but this guy can tackle your fake technique, so you have to be aware of this. While you're faking, he can come in. Okay, can't see the video. Yeah, I figured it out. Raphael Wilson, can the finger jab come in an angle? Yes, any hand technique can be a finger jab. I'm not sure if I'm going to show this in this video, but any hand technique can finger jab, even a hook punch. So instead of hooking a person, if you're in the right angle, you can go to his eyes like a hook, but you can just go with a finger jab, okay? Or like a back fist, which is when it comes slide in an angle, so you can use this as a finger jab. It's not always a straight lead, but as a finger jab. Any hand technique can be used as a finger jab. Very important. And that's not something Ted Wong talked, okay? That's something you can figure out yourself. Tommy online lessons are Tommy online lessons complete foundation to learn by yourself? I mean, the first series of online lessons is it builds up your foundation, how you stand, how you move, how you use your footwork, punching, kicking. And the second part of online lessons, the series 2, is how you use different angles. Okay, so that's how I would describe this. Raphael Wilson, instead of going direct, yes, I answered your question before. Jose Kentucky Funky. Hi Jose. Hey Thomas, I'm Jose. It was my comment. We tried seeing your video on Karim's stream. Yeah, okay, nice. Welcome to the stream here. We could not see here now. Leaving a like for JKD. Thank you very much. Rolando, how you strengthen your fingers so your finger have less chance of injury. So the first important thing is, I have done video on this as well. So when you do the finger jab, you don't hold your fingers or your finger like this. So you should bend them. Okay, so you can hold them like this. Okay, you can hold them like this. So when you hit a hard surface, this happens. Okay, this happens, and you don't get injured. And how you can strengthen your fingers is with gripping machines, or doing push-ups on fingers and stuff like this. Okay, so you don't really strengthen your fingers, you strengthen the tendons. Okay, but the proper holding of your fingers is probably the most important. You can do the finger jab also like this. Okay, but it's important not to strengthen your fingers. You know, like when you play basketball and you try to catch a basketball and you hold your finger like this, and the basketball hits your finger and you get injured. We should always go like here. Okay, so bend. Karim, sorry, couldn't link, sending everyone over manually. Yeah, I mean, like Harris Heller, or he was talking about this, that it doesn't work properly yet. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If someone lowers their head when a finger jab is coming, it's very easy to dislocate your fingers. But like I explained, yeah, you should hold your fingers like this and not like this. And I'm gonna show you a video where actually a finger jab, a solid wall, and nothing happens. Okay. Okay, let's watch further. When you shoot out your finger jab, you go here and then you recover. So you see how I'm holding my finger? Wait. When you shoot out your finger jab, you see my finger here? So you can, when you hold them like this, okay, you can't break them because they are already slightly bent, and they give, if you hit hard surface, they give back in their natural movement or natural bending, okay? Go here and then you recover quickly. As fast as you go out, you should go also fast backwards. Or like Tommy said, you should mentally try to retract your techniques even faster than you go forward. To show you an example, he should react to my finger jab and try to grab me in this area. When I do it wrong, this would look like this. So there you go. This is Metrolina stuff. You see? Okay. Then he got me. Of course, he knows what is coming, and I'm doing it slow, so it's no brainer that he can tackle me. Okay, no easy. You see? Then he got me. He can throw me back. Even if he does that, I shouldn't stop like this. I should go still here to the eyes. Okay, even if I fly backwards, doesn't matter. It doesn't stop me to do this. But a proper finger jab should be snapped, should be fast, and should be non-telegraphic. And you should execute it from a distance where you move your hand first, or you move... Guys, there's literally everything in these videos. So you have just literally to watch the videos and to take what I say there seriously, okay? Move your hand together with your front leg, so you have a distance, you step in, and then you step out. And now he's gonna try to do the same. No chance. Even he knows what's coming. And then you see at my footwork when I'm finished, because in this case, I'm not hitting with the finger jab because he's wearing a mask. But if I would miss the finger jab, I would do the same. So I use my footwork to adjust my distance when I miss the finger jabs. So do the same. Okay. You see? And look at the legs. And there you go. When the finger jab is... So, and even if he grabs my leg, no, then you go then to the eyes. Okay, so there's nothing that can stop me still going to his eyes with a different technique. Proper. Okay, so let's see. Yes, Roland Diaz, are Bruce Lee's fighting method books still useful today? Yes, they are. Although Bruce made some changes in terms of stance, and you don't have everything in this, so you have the idea of application. That's most important. Okay, so you can't really learn the details of techniques from these books, but you have a really good idea about application of Jeet Kune and choosing the targets, because literally in these books there's literally a picture when it says the groin and the eyes are the main targets, and on the second page then the leg, a knee and shin, and even ankle in closer distance. So very valuable. But most people look through this, and because static pictures, they don't tell as much, and they just don't think about this so much, I think. Okay, so but like here I have it. Okay. Neil F, your opinion on John Joe's oblique kick, why it doesn't finish the opponent? We don't use the oblique kick. We would use instead the side kick to the knee, because oblique kick you have to go square, and usually the force or the distance you would need to penetrate the knee with the oblique kick is less than with the side kick. So oblique kick is more a thing from the past from Jeet Kune, not so from the late Jeet Kune. I don't even train this kick. So because I would have to open myself. I have also done a full video on this. Literally, guys. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you on my channel site where you go here, my videos. So here you have the newest video is fighting two opponents. Okay, watch this. And then the video before is when you get blocked or trapped, how to continue attacking. Watch this as well, okay? It's very important. And then you have the video that we are watching now, what if you miss with the eye jab. And then I have here a video here, how to retreat fast with your footwork when somebody is side kicking you or tackling you, okay? It's a subject that we actually would need today. Okay, then how to train street fighting. Okay, so it is also important here. This video, right? You can see it. You go here. How to train street fighting. Okay, how to prepare for street fighting, in contrary to sport fighting. And then they, so all these videos with blue colors, these are the full videos. And there's a video with the oblique kick. It's really here you have this video here. Look, what's with this kick? And I've done a full video about the oblique kick and why we not use it in Jeet Kune anymore. Okay, so where are we? Ah yeah, okay, so how are you holding your fingers, Ronaldo? Karim asks, okay. Roland Diaz, is Wing Chun very popular in Germany? Yes, I mean, we have this Wing Chun organization that has aparted itself from Hong Kong, and that's why it's not Wing Chun, it's Wing Chun. They are not using like CHUN, they're using TSUN. And this guy, his name is Kaif Kernspecht. His organization is the biggest Wing Chun organization in Europe, and he is the first guy bringing Wing Chun from Hong Kong to Europe. So, and I think he is a multimillionaire. So there's that. Roland Tilt, good point about basketball. Yeah, I mean this happened to me tons of time in my childhood. Trying to catch a ball and then you go like this instead of like this. Roland Diaz, did you see the video of the US Special Force guy finger jab a South American soldier after an argument? Yeah, I've seen that, and you could see how this guy literally almost lost his consciousness. He couldn't even stand. He went on the ground because this, you could see it in the slow motion how deep this finger jab went into the eye. You're finished, man. There's no way you can continue. Even if you're on drugs, I mean, maybe you can stand, but your sight is distracted. I move around you, you can't see where I am because you can't see. Even if it's just one eye, but you can hold this eye open. You close your both eyes. It's when a small fly flies into your eye. I mean, this small fly. What kind of distraction that is? You know, even this. Imagine a finger jab. In Rolando, in a street fighting scenario, is it better to sacrifice knockout power to maintain balance? I mean, if you do it right, you have a knockout power and balance. Do you use your heel kick in your method? What is a heel kick? You mean like this? So the hook kick is from here, and the heel kick is like a half roundhouse kick. You can actually use this, but it's more rarely. You can use this if the opponent is left side forward, and you can use this kick to the groin. Most people use this to the head, but Bruce used this kick a lot in movies. Okay, and this kick is also in the fighting method books, but it's not so much common for street fighting. Let's say. Let's put it this way. You posted MMA sidekick to the knee. First one I've seen that probably finished the fight. Yes. That's how you use it. Even this sidekick wasn't that efficient, or it was, the form wasn't very good. If these guys would train this properly, yeah, well, you know what would happen. A low heel kick is just a trip, isn't it? I'm not sure what the trip is. What is it? JIPS. Hello, Thomas. Hi, JIPS. Karim stream. David, send us here. Hi, how are you? Glad. Welcome to my channel. Sorry, my English is not perfect. Neither is mine. I make subscribe. Thank you very much. And I wanted to ask, can girls also learn Jeet Kune? Yes, they can. And thank you. Yes, they can. I had a female students. I had one female student. She was very talented in terms of moving and learning. She was very good. She was very small and very lightweight. I mean, she wasn't even a half of the weight I have now. I think she's like 45 kilos. That's maybe 90 pounds. And I'm over 100 kilos. So 45 and I'm over 100. And she was very talented, you know. And you know, when you're a girl like this, you should focus on body mechanics, finger jab, groin attacks, and you can also develop a good punching power. But you would have to work a lot of on this because of lack of body weight. You have to have extra good body mechanics to develop a powerful punch, which Bruce actually had. He was a male, but he was rather small male and very light in terms of body weight, but he could punch like a heavyweight because he got very good body mechanics, and he was trained well. So Rolando, like you can use a heel kick to sweep someone. Yeah. That's a sweep. That's a leg sweep. That's not kick anymore. So you can use this, and at different heights, you can use this to the head, you can use this to the body, you can use this to the groin, and then you have to figure out what's the most direct technique in this situation. And a technique like this would mostly never be the most direct technique that you could use at this point. No, we don't train any weapon training, Daka. So he asks, are there any weapon training in the IFO? So Jeet Kune is purely a art without using weapons. So, okay, let's think about this scenario. Most of the times when you get attacked with a knife, you don't see the knife before, because the guy who is attacking you is not going to show you the knife unless he's some kind of disturbed guy that just went out of the mental hospital or something like this, you know, like just these crazy guys that run around and try to stab people. I'm not talking about scenario like this. I'm talking about somebody who is attacking you for real, or wants you harm, wants your money or anything. He may because when somebody wants to attack you, he usually is not going to show you a knife. And if he shows you a knife and he is already launching at you, you have no time to take out your weapon. The only reason you would have the weapon in your hand before the fight is if something happened before. But I would ask you that why you're still there. If there's this kind of tension in this situation that you have to take your knife out, while you're taking your knife, you should go away. Okay? So there's no reason to have a knife in the hand. And when somebody closes in, the fastest thing you can use is your hands and your legs. Then taking a knife out would cost you time. Okay? So in our culture, like carrying a knife with you is against the law anyway. So there's no weapon training. There's it's literally no practical sense in doing this. And how you would use a stick or something you find, maybe you would use it exactly like your hands, just like extension of your techniques. So you would use it the same, simple, direct, and efficient. Okay, not some complicated sticking drills like in Kali. Let's watch it a bit further.
Snapped. It's really hard for this guy to come under it because the technique is so short, not in the sense of the length of the technique, but in the sense of the duration of the technique. You see the distance I have to him. Then the hand goes first, then I push, and the step comes, then I go here, and on the half beat, I go back and maintain my distance. If I did hit him, I can follow up, or it's just finished. Finger jab is like a fast jab. It should be practiced all the time. You should snap it. You should go in the target like a spear, aiming to the eyes, and then snap back. And this is not just surface targeting. This should aim and go through the target. So you go through the eyes, you go deep in, and you end the fight. And if you miss, so you should recover quickly, so you don't get countered by any kind of attack. When you do it, you don't always have to go forward.
So
you can
here now you can see a few examples of how you can angle off and go to the side.
Also go here with the pivot.
So you pivot to the right while you attacking
the side, and you could also go here.
Or you go forward, and instead of going back or just standing in front, you go to the side. Okay?
And angle off.
So, and if the guy launches a tackle when you finger jab, you actually use your footwork to re-angle so he can really get you, because the finger jab is so short in its duration. You move faster than he actually can react. Okay.
To the left when he tries to tackle you, and you go backwards and you use your footwork so he doesn't come. Just let's do this again. You see? Look here. Doesn't come.
So I did it here actually on purpose a bit slower so he can actually go under. And what I do then, I use my footwork. I just don't stand still like a dead zombie. Okay?
Tackle you.
Look.
And you go back.
Okay.
And
so,
angle off to the left when he tries to tackle you.
That's why your feet are placed like this. So the opponent is a 0.1. The front foot is 0.2 and your rear foot is 0.3, and this should be a straight line. So when he comes to you, this positioning of legs allows you to move the fastest possible for a human body away or towards your opponent. Okay?
And you go backwards and you use your footwork so he doesn't come. Just let's do this again. You see? Look here.
So, and this time I grabbed him into his head, which he actually presented to me. He just presents his head on a silver plate. Here I have my head. Do with it what you want.
Doesn't come to tackle you. And you go back and angle off to the left when he tries to tackle you. And you go backwards.
And even if it goes faster, there's no difference, because I'm not going the fastest here either. Okay.
And you use your footwork. So here, and you go to the eye. So even if you miss, in this case, so you go like this.
And then now we're talking about the front kicks. Okay, before we watch this, let's see some comments. Okay. Other than Bruce, any favorite martial artists? I mean, to tell you the truth, the actual reason I came to martial arts was Jean-Claude Van Damme and his movies, and I discovered Bruce later. So, but in terms of really martial arts, not really. I don't have many favorite martial artists. A part of maybe Jackie Chan as a movie. I mean, I'm not watching any sport fighting. I mean, my two favorite boxers are Muhammad Ali and here Mike Tyson. Okay, but I'm not so much into watching this stuff. Nail F, thank you so much for time and anyway replying for people. We appreciate it. No, thank you for being here. I mean, without you guys, there's no stream and there's also no channel. So remember that. Man, guys, your name's Mardicious Moore. Can you do a video on headbutt and power line in Jeet Kune? We don't use. The only reason you would use a headbutt if your hands are tied up and you can't use your hands. Somebody is maybe holding you, or you holds your both hands, and you have to go with a headbutt. That's the only time you would use a headbutt. But what you would never do is using your hands to take your opponent's head and do the headbutt, because you're misusing your hands. In this scenario, you are misusing your hands. Instead of punching the guy, hooking the guy, finger jabbing the guy, you go to hold his hand. It's like using a weapon instead of using a weapon to hold a guy. Okay, don't do this. Always think simple and efficient, because this is not efficient. You have to do step 1, step 2. A power line in Jeet Kune, well, it depends on the technique. So you can do a video on power line on the straight lead. You can do a power line on the sidekick, for example. Okay. There's not only one power line. But the power line is always the same. It's always, when it comes to the straight techniques, it should go through the body in a straight line to the ground. And like hooks, they have different power lines, but it's rotational power, usually how you build up your power, using a step, rotation, and snapping the hand in case of hook. Do you recommend practicing usual fencing in order to train Jeet Kune footwork? No, I don't recommend it, because it's different. In fencing you have a foil, and therefore the footwork is also different. The footwork in Jeet Kune originates from fencing, but it's modified so it can fit your punching and your kicking. It's different, okay? And fencers don't use, and here
You don't go just like this.
fencers don't use raised heel here. Even though Bruce had it from fencing, but it's a special fencer is Aldo Nadi. He was advocating a raised heel in fencing, but the mainstream fencing never adopted that. Bruce adopted that, but mainstream fencing never adopted the raised heel. So the fencers actually stand flat with a rear leg, which is very, very unfortunate, because when you stand flat, it takes a lot of mobility away. Do you use palm strike in Jeet Kune? You can use palm strike in Jeet Kune instead of fist. You can use that, yes. I don't train this because I would use my fist, because I do fist or knuckle conditioning, anything. Maybe in some scenario where you would think, okay, I have to punch the guy, but I don't really want to break anything, and then you can use this, okay, maybe, okay. But in a real self-defense, I would use my fist or my finger jab. Most likely finger jab. Roland Diaz, in a proper JKD stance, should you have most weight front or back foot? And how did Bruce change his stance in later version of JKD? So usually you have your weight is 50-50. Before you attack, your weight is slightly forward, okay? When you retreat, of course, you have your weight slightly backwards. But like, you can take it like a law, like a rule. Anytime before you move in a direction, your weight should shift in this direction. So before you move backwards, your weight shifts backwards. Before you move forwards, your weight shifts forwards. Before you move left, your weight shifts left. And same is with the right. Okay, and that's like a basic rule. If you're not moving, weight is 50-50. Okay, like as simple as that. Okay. How did Bruce change his stance in later version of Jeet Kune? So it went more compact. Okay, so you can see, if I can go slightly back, you can see in the fighting method books, you can see his hand here and his hand here. Later on, it became more contact, where actually your elbows have contact with your upper body. Okay, and when you close in, you're like this, and when you're further away, you're like this. So you change from here to here. Okay, so that's the biggest change. Okay, he went more compact. Okay, and also he used to stand toe to heel, which means when you draw a line here, okay, then the front toe would be aligned with the heel, and at the same line is placed the opponent. Later on, the front toe is on the same line like this arch of the rear leg. So also he closed a bit his stance. That's because he went away from trapping, went more to the fencing attacking, and he concentrated more on the using front tools instead of using rear tools for trapping, where you actually had to stand more open. Okay, that's how he changed his stance later on. Hi Pierre, how are you? Sorry, I'm late for your stream as I was moderating another live stream. What live stream did you do? Rolando, people think Jean-Claude Van Damme is just an actor, but he won all his kickboxing matches via knockout. I mean, there's no question that Van Damme is a talented martial artist. There's no question about it. And there's no question that Van Damme can punch your face. And I really don't doubt that he actually can fight. The other thing is to doubt his style or the types of techniques he's using, okay? But he's a talented guy, no question about it. But like all these stars who became suddenly a star, he got his also his problems, okay? So hi Robert, how are you? Daka, heel kick changes the stance. So Bruce might have gotten rid of this. No, actually not. I mean, heel kick with the front leg doesn't really change the stance. So you start from the stance and then you go slightly in a circle and kick with the heel. Robert Van Darf, June Fan, weight. Yeah, 70-30, 70 front leg, 30 left leg. Yeah, okay. That's that may be the weight distribution just before you move forward. Maybe not that much, but somewhere around that. I have heard some original Jeet Kune people talk about the long and short lead punch. Is that valid? Okay. So, usually the distance of your lead punch should be dictated by your footwork. So sometimes the step can be closer, step can be longer or shorter. Sometimes you can even do a static lead punch. So you don't actually step, you're close enough and just punch, use your hip, okay? But when you use your footwork right, you wouldn't do that. What we in Jeet Kune, what we're talking about, long and short lead punch, is short lead punch is a snap lead punch. So when you usually when you attack the chin, so you snap the punch through the target, you go so much deep in the target, and you snap it out, okay? This is a short punch because the duration of the punch is short, okay? The long punch would be where you stick a bit longer in the target. For example, somebody runs at you and you stop in with the lead punch, but you don't snap it back because of this energy he's coming with. That would be a long punch, okay? Not in sense of how long your arm is, okay? That's what I don't know if when they say long and short lead punch, if they're talking about the same thing I was explaining now. So let's watch a bit of this again. So
and then same is with the front kick.
When you do the front
you
kick,
don't go just like this.
Same, okay?
And then
if you kick and you let your leg in the target, of course he can grab your leg. There's no brainer that he
grabs your leg. Okay.
That's what the Metrolina guys did. Exactly what I'm doing here.
So you go like this, and then he grabs your leg.
Now he can grab
so you go
and
like
push
this.
you forward. No.
He's here. You can
when you
here.
So
you go like
even he knew what I was doing.
This.
But when you snap it
here.
right, and look at the distance. Look at this distance from where I am kicking.
You can.
And then I missed the target. Let's say I missed the target, and then I snapped the kick right out of the target.
Here. You can here. He's here. You can.
You see?
He's here.
And I did even hear a feint attack to the head. Look at this. When you do this, man, you can catch the guys at every time.
You go like this.
You feint up.
He's here.
Tap, and you kick down.
Here.
Usually, what happens is this: he goes for your fake, and you kick him in the nuts.
He wanted to grab my leg, but he can't grab my leg. He can go deeper, and then if he knows that even if he can grab my leg, I still try to pull my leg back. So he has trouble to actually hold my leg. Go deeper.
In this case, you see, immediately go here. Okay, don't wait. Just go to the eyes and make a pancakes out of the eyes.
And then if he knows that I come with my front kick, of course he can grab it. And then I have it here, and I have my eyes.
And when he tries to push, you can lower your center of gravity, so he can't throw you over.
Or his eyes here,
you see,
with the leg. Also, even if he pushes forward, you can go.
You see,
here.
And all the time while he is trying to push, my finger are going into his eyes. So at some point, he's going to have to let go and to go to his eyes to protect his eyes. And then he's not holding me anymore, and his eyes are effed, okay? So, because all of this stuff you can't use in sport fighting, you don't see it. You don't see how people can apply it. You don't see how people could apply it. You don't see how effective this is. You don't see how efficient this is. And therefore, because you don't see it, you think it won't work. But man, I can tell you, man, this works. Is it a waste of time? Is it a waste of time to train your weak side forward in Jeet Kune, or do you recommend it? So here's the thing. Here's the thing with the weak side forward. You should only look at your left side in terms of left stance when your right side is well trained. And I mean with your right side everything. Your right techniques from your right side forward and your left techniques from your right side forward, like left straight, left corkscrew, left hooks, or left back fists when it comes to 360-degree defending. And when you have achieved a certain level, then you can switch your training and you can start to train your left side forward. So you train, like, let's say 60% of your training with your left side forward, and the other 40% of your training, you train your right side forward, so you don't forget this. So you build up your left side, and at some point you can train 50-50. Okay. I don't do this. I do this occasionally. I don't train my left side forward as much, but I train my left techniques and left back fists. I train also my left back fists as very much. This is, I would recommend only this for people who train really a lot, 5-6 days a week. Anybody who trains less, forget about it. Okay, so train your strong side forward and any techniques from there. Thoughts of Tao of Jeet Kune Do book. We were talking about that last time. Tao isn't a book that's put together by Bruce. It's his notice, some of his notes, but he had a lot of more notes. He had so many notes. You could fill probably 20 or 40 of these books. Okay, so that's like, you can't learn Jeet Kune Do from there. No chance you can learn. You don't know how to kick, how to punch. You have no body mechanics. You don't have anything, and that's how people think. Oh, this is Tao of Jeet Kune Do. That's Tao of Jeet Kune Do. So because I don't have techniques there, I have some theory. I have to train other martial arts, and then I have Jeet Kune Do because I have Tao. But you don't have Jeet Kune Do in Tao of Jeet Kune Do because there's literally nothing explained in there, apart of some evasion. Yeah, but maybe some hooks, some drawings, but you don't know how. There's no. You have far more material here in terms of pictures that Bruce made for a Jeet Kune Do book. You can't learn Jeet Kune Do from Tao. No chance. No way. It's impossible. Up here. You had a non-martial arts stream. I can tell you about, Facebook. I'm hoping you do this live stream regularly. Yeah, I hope as well. Maybe every Sunday or maybe some other day. It depends of the job I'm going to do. So when I'm gonna have time for this, and also, I have 2 kids and family. So is the straight blast same as the straight lead? No, straight blast is this kind of Wing Chun punching, and the straight lead is a Jeet Kune Do's lead punch. It's a single punch. The straight blast is this Wing Chun chain punching. That's straight blast. Do you chamber sidekick when throw or draw straight line from the floor to the opponent? Yeah, the second one, yes. The first one, no. You chamber your sidekick when you step in. You bend your leg slightly, and by your stance, your leg is already bent. So I can show you in this video. Wait a second. There's the short I have. So you can see it there very good. Where is that? Oh, there is it.
We could go here.
So you see,
attack it from here. And
I don't know if on the shorts I can do slow motion. I think you can't. So we have to do it like this.
Attack his leg. We could go here.
I can't even go backwards, so we have to watch like this.
His leg.
So you see, my leg is
here. We could go here.
And then it shoots from there direct to the target. Okay?
His leg. We could go here and attack him
so
from here.
So you don't really chamber anything, okay? So you don't have time, so he can't react.
We could go here and attack him from here.
Of course, I stop at the target. So usually you would drive through the knee. So you would bend the knee inwards with your sidekick, okay? That's what you would do.
We could go here, okay, and attack him from here.
Amber Heard.
And attack his leg.
Poor Johnny Depp, man. Okay, so I think we have seen enough of the video from myself there. Let's see some other questions. Is the Terry Tom JKD book complete and accurate, or are there flaws? I think she has 2. She has one on the straight lead. I have it also here. And there's another one. I haven't seen the another one. The thing on straight lead is pretty good in terms of explaining everything and the history of the technique, but the pictures are not so representative of how you would actually use this technique, because in one picture she said the hand moves before foot, but you can clearly see that she's stepping and her hand is still tucked in, and then the cover is always not here, it's always somewhere when she punches, somewhere here. Okay, so there's a big opening towards the opponent. So in terms of pictures, not so good. In terms of text it's pretty good. Yeah, and you can learn a lot about it, also where Bruce had it from, and also how Bruce went more towards fencing, footwork, and attacking. It's pretty good. Yeah. So, Roland, for JKD, do you recommend using heavy bag? It's still bad habits. Where if you have bad habits, you would have them on heavy bag and on not heavy bag. I mean, the best training for punching, kicking are focus pads. Heavy bag is good for kicking, for power, using power. For hooks, maybe not so much for straight punches, because the center weight or gravity of the heavy bag is pretty low downwards. So when you punch it to the head, it's a weird feedback from a heavy bag. I don't like it that much. But you can also do this. And bad habits, I mean, you should treat the heavy bag like any other training tool. You can use combinations, but you could also always be aware what targets you would hit when hitting the heavy bag. You can see it. I have a boxing bag there as well, but it's rather a small one. It's not that huge. So my green background is not so much green here on the screen. Karim, great stream so far, Thomas. So we all know this is gonna be monthly or weekly event. I would do it weekly if I can. Yeah, maybe I would say every Sunday, maybe 6 or 7 o'clock German time. If I can't do every Sunday, it's not a problem, but we could plan it, do it every Sunday. I also don't know. At some point, everything is said, you know. The questions are going to repeat, just probably. Robert van Darf, that high fake is classic. High, low, high pattern, it works. Yeah, that works every time. You can see that in a Bruce Lee movie against Bob Baker, when he sidekicked him. He went like this. He faked a eye jab or hand attack and sidekick him here to the kidneys. And this works really every time. Fair Kung Fu, how does your walkout feel? How does your walkout week look like? And how is your back injury now? I hope it's healed. By the way, I finally got back to the gym about 3 weeks ago. Haha. Yeah, well, gym. I go. So my weekly training. When I'm not injured, at the moment I have some kind of injury on my ankle. I just wait it to go away. That I want to start training again. Usually my training, it looks like this. I do twice a week in the gym, and I mostly do compound exercises, not so much isolative exercises. I run 2 to 3 times a week, but short distances, nothing crazy. And I try to train Jeet Kune 5 times a week. Depending on how tired I am, then I do only 4 times a week Jeet Kune. So that's my training schedule usually. If I really fuck okay, I train 3 times a week Jeet Kune, and maybe I take one running day off or something. So sometimes, I mean, I'm 42, I'm not 20 years young anymore. So usually you need a bit more recovery time when you get older. Okay. How is my back? Well, to tell you the truth, when I'm not training, my back feels better than when I'm training. So that's how it is. Roland Diaz, would Angela Merkel benefit from learning Jeet Kune? Not in a political sense. Yeah, I think this is a woman without the knees. I don't know how she could learn Jeet Kune because the way she walks, it looks like she had no knees. Thoughts on John Little books? Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, that's basically the rest of the material that's missing in the Tao books. I don't know if John Little used everything, but he had access to all of the Bruce material. Like there was like 40 kilograms of paper that Bruce had, all of his notes. So imagine 40 kilograms, 40 pounds or 40 kilograms. I'm not sure, but either any, it's heavy or it's much. How good is that front shin protector you use in your videos? Or okay, pair. Or do you use less power in training when practice that kick to protect front? Okay, so the thing is, all shin protectors are only protecting the surface of your leg. They don't stop you going through the leg if you push. So you always have to watch. You can go harder with them. These are motocross protectors, okay? So I'm not sure what company is it, but they did cost like 70 euros. And I have them for years now. I have them probably for 10 years now. And I did break the same ones on the Fabian, because I kick Fabian, so his broke eventually on the side, the left or the right one, I'm not sure, but he can still use them. So when you train a lot with them, they will eventually break at some point, but they're really very good. You can kick good, but you cannot go through the knee because they don't stop the backwards bending. They just protect the surface, and because they're padded inside and it's a hard plastic on the outside, you can kick them still pretty hard, but you have to stop your kick. You can't drive through like in this video. You can see here how
go here.
How I stop
from here.
Watch his knee. Watch his knee. His knee is bending inside.
We could go here and attack him from
only
here
to the straight line, and then I stop
his leg.
Again.
We could go here and attack him from here and attack his leg. We could go.
So you can go also a bit deeper than that, but I would only recommend doing this if you really have control over your techniques, okay? Because this is very, very dangerous technique. People don't even realize that if you use a side kick to a naked leg, to a kneecap, because on a kneecap you have the strongest leverage. You could technically kick above or underneath the kneecap and still bend the leg through, but on the kneecap you have the strongest leverage with your side kick. Roland Diaz, are you currently the top JKD channel on YouTube? Well, that's the thing you have to tell to me, okay? That's not for me to decide. Bruce said he only used high kicks for movies. Do you train high kicks? Yes, he said that, because this makes sense when you see how you use kicks. Main target kicks, mostly groin and knees. But I do also train high kicks for the flexibility reasons, and to train the muscles, okay, acceleration and everything. You can train the high kicks as well, okay. But it's like, imagine I train maybe kicking 5 rounds, 5 minutes, or 6 rounds, a 5-minute round, so that would be 30 minutes kicking. And out of this all kicking, I would maybe only do 1 round high kicks, and everything else is this stuff. Okay. What are the most common JKD injuries beside broken knees and missing eyeballs? Missing eyeballs, that rarely happens, because when we train eye jabs, we use protection. But injured knees is probably the most common injury. Yeah. When I not maybe particularly in my school, but in the IFO organization, because I have seen people get their knees smashed by people who don't really have control with their techniques. Okay, that's probably the most common injury, but it's rare. In all this 15 years I'm under Tommy, I've heard of one guy really got his knee broken. Okay, so you as a teacher, you are responsible to control your training. Okay, so you have to know what people have control, what people are able to do certain drills and exercises with contact, and what people still need more time and have to train this. And some people never come to this because they come far too rare into the training, and they never develop this kind of skill. So I never let them actually do training with contact, because the risk is too high. So only if you, in my school, only if you reach a certain level of technical execution of your technique, then I would say, okay, now we can introduce to yourself a training with the contact. Okay. Have you seen the fight science karate guy get full force groin kick? He's nearly superhuman. Yeah, I've seen that, because you can apparently also condition your testicles. But also ask yourself here, how realistic is that? How many people in the street that eventually are going to attack you somewhere have gone through this routine? Okay, so it's, in reality, it's basically, it has no meaning whatsoever. I don't know if you can have kids if you condition your testicles like this. And the other thing is, if there's any side effects, maybe getting cancer later on down the road. I wouldn't do that anyway. Roland Diaz, do you need mats or go barefoot for training JKD like me? No, we train with shoes on hard floor. Okay, no mats. Daka, you're the best JKD channel, trust me. Thank you very much. Pierre, this is why Fabian was injured. I remember you mentioned this in one of your videos, must have heard. Well, the thing is with Fabian, I didn't injure his knee, I did injure his ankle. Because he did the idea, we did a drill where he should attack me with anything. And then he came like with this front kick, but that front kick that comes at an angle. And I use a side kick to stop his leg. And he basically kicked my side kick, okay? My how you say, the downside of my shoe, my shoe sole. So I kicked his ankle with my side kick, and he kicked at the same time my shoe sole of that side kick. So, and although my side kick wasn't very powerful, but these two kicks, you know, the energy combined, and his ankle broke at one. And he still got problems from there. This is now more than a year ago, and he can still feel this when he certain way twists his ankle. He can still feel this. He's still slightly in pain. Yeah, that's I mean, psychic is so powerful technique because it's so stable. It doesn't give in or doesn't give backwards. So when you make a contact with a psychic, you know, psychic goes through everything. Everything else has to make a room for the psychic. Roland Diaz, for sidekick training alone, what equipment you recommend besides a bag? Yeah, anything you can kick. You can kick shields. You can kick focus mitts. On focus mitts, you can really concentrate on snapping your sidekick. You can use, like here. You see this rope hanging there. Right there it is. This rope. I use this. I kick this rope a lot with the sidekick because this rope has a weight, and you can kick it and you can punch it as well. Do you use stop hits on something called Jeet Kune? Yes, we have this as well. I haven't done any video on this. But this is like a low front kick to the knee. Okay. Pierre, I seem to remember that George Lee made a special apparatus for Bruce, which he could practice that low shin kick with more. Yes. Tommy had that. That's a 1000-weight dummy. I think that's a 1000-weight dummy, and you have like it's like a plate, okay, like this. So you kick it from this side, and on the back it's a suspension of a truck, okay. So when you kick it, it gives in, but not at as easy, okay, because it's a truck suspension, okay, only one, okay. And on the downside, you have then you're like a leg, and you can side kick it low as well. I think that was that. James Lee did do this, not George Lee. I think James Lee did everything for Bruce. He was a welder, I think. The Alex, good life. Welcome to the stream. How often do you do sparring or sparring drills, if they are the best sort of sparring? If so, what are the best sort of sparring drills? Yeah, well, anytime I train with partner, I do this at least once a week, twice a week at best. Okay, so there's a video from me with training insights. Let's see if we can find this. So here you can see how we train. I did two. Oh wait, you can see that. So there's this is the one video, and here's the second video, and I did these videos so you can see some training, how we train, with no music, please. So you can see. So okay. So now you can see how we train. So what he does now, he's distracting my punches, and I continue with my punch. Let's make it big. This is one drill you can do. Okay, so he's coaching and I'm doing, and now I just concentrate on my lead hand, and depending on what he's doing with my hand, so I am continuing to the target from different directions. Okay, so you can see it here. You can see now it's his turn. Okay, doing the same. Okay, here. See, so when you miss or when you get blocked, so you just don't stop, so you can continue with the pressure. Okay. So that's the same room I'm sitting now in. Okay, that's behind me, literally. Okay, so let's see, different one. Okay, so we are concentrating here not only on punching. So now I'm evading. As soon as I evade, he should continue. You see, that's not just waiting. Let's see another one. Now it's more opened. So I try to block him, and he comes, or he tries to block me, and I try. You see. Now you see, I'm faking movement. So you can, you see, faking is not just faking techniques. You can fake with your body movement, because when you go down, this looks like a low attack. You can fake with your shoulder. So like here, you see, here's a fake, and then there was no fake anymore. Okay, so there's so much more to it in faking or progressive indirect attack. Okay, so much more than just fake one and attack different. Okay, you can fake with your body, you can fake with your step, you can fake with your weight shift. Okay, you can fake with many other things. You can trap an opponent with a fake where he makes a movement, and then his reaction is actually trapping him in this stage, so you can attack on a different line. So now what are we doing now? Okay, now I'm just evading and countering at the same time. So he's coming in. Now I'm evading left, right. Okay. Using low attacks. Using legs. Evading backwards. Okay. So this you can consider this as sparring or sparring drills. Okay. You run into my hook. So that's why you have this hands covers and this on the hook attacks. Okay. Oh, where you want to go? Where you want to go? And this is, and now I'm doing trapping on purpose to show how indirect this looks compared to other stuff. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. What the hell, man? You do 5 movements to hit the guy, but you can actually go just like here. 1 movement, finished. Okay? So you should concentrate and get good at this instead of this. Because you see, it only works because he doesn't move anymore. He just stands still and let me do it. Okay? But if I counter into his attack, and I hit him, okay, while he's still moving. Okay, here, bam, bam. Look, there were two counters. Yeah. Again. So you have 1 counter low and then high. Look, 1 low, high, boom. The second one was barely noticed. So and now I'm coaching, and he should react. Okay. See. Same, he's doing the same I was doing before. You can use the legs, but we are concentrating more on the hands now. Okay, and we are placed on the right of the room. So usually we would stand more in the center, so you could evade left and right. So now it's my turn. Boom. Just stay fluid. Just be like water. Okay. Never stand still, never tense up, okay? Just go behind him. Boom. And then finished. So that's how you get hit. Okay. I think this video was after my back injury. I think I felt pretty good there, despite my back injury. So again, behind him. So that's that video. In the other, there's a high kick. There's a high kick. Wait, let's see it again. Let's see this again. You see, at the moment he steps forward, it can be here. No, it can be he wants kick. It can be he wants a punch, and then, okay, doesn't matter. He wanted to kick with his rear leg, okay, and then I just stopped his movement, okay, and then here I went back, evaded, and I went to the groin. There's a high flip kick. It's also very good technique. You can do a shoulder roll, you evade the punch and do a high flip kick to the head or even to the groin. Here is it to the head, you see. He wanted to kick actually. And then go to the groin, kick to the head. Okay, that's it. So, and the other video was other video is this. Oh, we want to watch it afterwards, and we're gonna see some to answer some questions. That's about sparring here. Thoughts on Qigong? Can it help Jeet Kune? Why is this? Is this inner energy or something? So I'm not this type of. I'm very like more towards science, and not so much towards like this esoteric stuff. Okay. Do you recommend teaching your children Jeet Kune or only if they show interest? Yeah, only if they show interest. So I have zero interest whatsoever. I have 2 girls. Bruce Lee said that shadow boxing is very good to sharpen techniques. Yes, that's true. Absolutely. How do you transition from Van Damme to Jeet Kune to Tom? Well, that's a funny story, okay? So the story went like this. I used to train karate, okay? I was in a karate school. I trained like 2 or 3 years karate, and I went to karate because of Jean-Claude Van Damme and his movies. I started with karate, I was 15 years old. And there was a guy training with me in karate. He was like 3 years old or something. At one point we were talking about Bruce Lee. And I said to him, apparently Bruce Lee made his own martial art. I didn't have any idea about Jeet Kune and Bruce Lee at that point. I just told to him that I heard that. And he said to me, well, there are books about Bruce Lee's martial art. You can buy them in a library. So you have, this is like 1997 or 96, okay? Before all that internet stuff, or internet was rather at the beginning. At that point I was 17 years old, or 16 or 17. So I've done karate since 2 or 3 years. And when he told me that Bruce had a Jeet Kune books, or Jeet Kune book, whatever, I went in a city library, and I was looking for them, and there were those 4 Bruce Lee's fighting method books. Okay, there's four booklets, which you can get now in this single one edition. Okay, so these 4 books are basically put together here, and I bought all those 4 books, and I did read them pretty quickly. And from that moment on, Bruce Lee got me. Okay, so that's how I went to Bruce. From Jeet Kune, from Van Damme, from karate to Jeet Kune, and then for a half a year, I was still training karate, but I was still training the stuff from the fighting method book. So the stance, the kicking, the punching, from the pictures. So, and because I was also watching Bruce Lee movies, I knew his movements, his fighting scenes, so you can have slightly idea how to execute these techniques from the books if you have seen Bruce Lee kicking, punching. Okay, and this is I trained for half a year parallel or simultaneously karate and Jeet Kune, and at some point in karate training, when doing the punching, I started instead of going with my hand like in karate here, I started to go here, okay, like from the fighting method books. And then a karate trainer he came to me at one point when I was doing the oitsuki and doing like this, you know, like not thinking about that. The hands started to switch to here from here, and he said to me, "We are not doing kung fu here; we're doing here karate." Oh, I said okay. And then I realized I can't do both, okay? Because in karate school, you teach to do this, and in Jeet Kune Do, you train to do this. And then I asked him, because they had multiple training rooms in this karate school. This karate school is still existent until today. I asked him if I can come to training, I will pay my monthly fee, and if I can come to training, but train for myself only, not in the class. And he said, okay, he is going to make an exception, and he let me train. And I did this for straight 10 years. I trained Jeet Kune like this. I train it for myself, and every Sunday I train with my friend of mine at his home, at his garage. We did we did sparring, we did also some grappling stuff and stuff. So this is basically how I trained Jeet Kune for 10 years with my friends. And I had also, over the course of this 10 years, I had few other training partners. And eventually then I heard about Tommy, and then I flew to Glasgow. And that's how then I became a Tommy student. That's literally the story of my Jeet Kune Do story. I also went into a Jeet Kune Do concept school during this time when I was training alone. And immediately when I did this training trial, because I was only training of the fighting method books until this time, I saw that they don't do any Jeet Kune Do. Nobody had to tell me that there's a Jeet Kune Do concepts and that there's an original Jeet Kune Do. I saw it for myself, and I asked him, you are training here, Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, am I right? He said yes. And then I asked him, how come you don't do any of this stuff from the fighting method books? And he just looked at me and he couldn't answer the question. So I never went back to this school. I was just once there. So I was lucky somehow that I could see through all this by myself, and then and that's why I choose Tommy, because I already, saw that there's some kind of discrepancy between what JKD Concepts does and what's actually Bruce Lee stuff. Pierre, from what I remember, Bruce also had a wooden dummy with a steel leg. Yes, that's true, yes. You can see this wooden dummy in the fighting method books. But I assume that would not have a good functional usage, might break your foot using foot force. Yes, and it's also static. It doesn't give back, okay? With this 1000 weight dummy, it's on a truck suspension, so when you kick it, it gives back, okay? Is it impossible to become rich teaching true Jeet Kune Do because of its simplicity? Probably not. Probably not, because I mean, you go. Imagine a student comes to you, a new guy, and you say to him, okay, you have to train this punch thousands of times until you get it. Or you go to other school and this instructor provides you a new technique every training, and then you have trained 50 different techniques, but each technique you have trained only 5 minutes total. But your straight lead, you would train like total for 100 hours only one technique. And so which school is going this guy to choose? That's how probably you can make any money. Because people want to collect, and they think the more technique they have, the better they are, but they are actually worse. Per, again, do you still run a Jeet Kune Do group? Yes, I still teach, yeah. We are just like 10 people right now. I assume you had to close it during the epidemic. Yeah, I had to close it for almost 6 months. I hope you continue teaching if you have time and a new job. Yeah, I hope as well. Jay, how? Welcome to the stream, Jay. What's the most important thing you learned from Tommy? The most important thing? Scottish accent. No. The most important thing. Well, considering JKD, I would. It's hard to say what is the most important of all that I have learned from him, because everything is very important. Yeah. But the most important is probably to really understand that focusing on the most important makes you far better fighter than adding more. Okay, that's the most important. You mentioned the flip kick in the video. Could you explain this kick? It's like a hook kick, but it's angled, so you flip the leg. You flip the leg like this. Okay, I'll show you. It goes like here. Okay, so here you can see it. Maybe you can see Tommy doing this. It's like a hook kick, but it's angled hook kick. Okay, so the leg is not straightened out. Okay, it's more of a close range kick. You can really use it good to the groin and also to the head, actually. How can you train effectively without a training partner? Well, you can train only to a degree without a training partner. Eventually you need a training partner. Without a training partner, you can train your mechanics, your body mechanics, your footwork, your execution of your kicks, punches, finger jabs, all the footwork. You can repeat all this. It's always good to have a target in front of you, so you have also a idea for distance. But eventually you're going to need a training partner that can react to that, that can attack you, so you react to attacks, so you can practice distance evading, countering at the same time, intercepting also, so you react to his movement. Eventually you're going to need all this as well. First impressions of seeing Tommy movement in training. Yeah, well, that's the reason I went to him. When I saw him, I saw him on the YouTube. I thought, man, this guy's fast, and I watched if the videos are they sped up. But when you look at the guys in the background, you see nothing is sped up. And when I saw him live, I realized that live it looks even faster than on a video. The reason is, on the video you can sit in front of it like this and watch every movement, but when he goes off live, you lose the track of the movement. You can't track the movement as well as in the front on the monitor. Okay, well, live it looks even more even quicker or more surprising, let's say it that way. Roland Diaz, is Jeet Kune concepts still being talked in Germany? Yes, of course. It's the biggest Jeet Kune branch, like anywhere in the world. Tommy Noble, original Jeet Kune is like getting all the pieces of a jigsaw to make a beautiful picture. JKD concepts like getting extra pieces that don't fit. Yeah. Okay. Tommy said once about JKD concepts. He said JKD concepts is like a beautiful woman that is hard to live with, okay? So it looks good, but it doesn't serve you well. The funny thing about Jeet Kune concepts is how much they contradict themselves. Okay, on one hand, they are so MMA focused, like also these Metrolina guys. Okay, all these tackling takedowns and grappling, rolling around the floor, and Muay Thai and this kind of attacking, you know, kicking to the leg, and then on the other hand, they do all these unrealistic trapping attacks. And also this Kali or the Hubad and Lubad and Kali Silat trapping movements, and they spend so much hours training that, and it's like it doesn't fit together. So because when you watch them then spar, you don't see any application of this kind of trapping techniques, because it doesn't work. It's not functional. And then they say a simple technique like a finger jab to the groin, finger jab to the groin. That's a new one. Finger jab to the eyes, or kick to the groin, or even side kick to the knee wouldn't work as well. And then they train all this unrealistic trapping stuff, and then they say these things like finger jabs and groin kicks won't work as well. And they use Jeet Kune for their martial art. And finger jabs and side kicks and groin kicks comes from him. And this guy made Jeet Kune. This is like contradicting and in everything. There's no sense in anything of this, you know? Because if you say A, then stick to the A. You can say eye jab is not so functional, or groin kick is not so functional. It can be countered. Of course it can be countered. Everything can be countered. It depends on how you use your footwork. It depends how you use your distance. But trapping doesn't work unless your opponent sleeps at that moment. If he punches wild at you, try to trap this. Try to trap me. You have there's a good. I tell you a secret. Here's how you can detect the bullshit techniques. When you see somebody applying a technique, the first thing is you have to ask yourself, if I would attack this guy with my punches widely, would he be able to execute this kind of technique on me? In this case, on you. So, if you're a martial artist, and if the answer is no, then you have probably some kind of common sense. If you're not a martial artist at all, then you can't really judge it, okay? But you have always as somebody, let's say somebody shows you a knife disarming technique, and so you come with a knife, and then he deflects the knife, and then he goes across, and then he disarms the knife, and then he takes your arm and does a kind of joint lock. Now you have to ask yourself, if I have a knife in my hand and I want to stab this guy, would he be able to do this? And the answer is probably not. So if the answer is no, then you have detected a bullshit technique. Okay? This is how I go. Can you apply this technique against me? What are your thoughts on old school Savat as it originated from Western fencing? Well, I don't really know so much about Savat. From what I saw, it's pretty, yeah, it's sporty. Well, it's like, you know, doesn't really matter for our purposes. Jeet Kune has far better movement, far better techniques, far better strategies, far better tactics. Daka, I took the JKD concepts and it was completely waste of time. Yes, I feel you. The same. I had the same experience. Robert Van Darp, concepts is even less useful than Junfang Kung Fu. I would say so. The problem is, you know, if you really train this stuff and then you I mean, they train, they box as well, and then combine boxing with trapping. How is this gonna work? I mean, when the guys comes at you throwing boxing punches, how are you gonna trap that? Then you say, well, in some situation you can trap. Yeah, the only situation if the opponent is completely passive, if he doesn't do anything. But if he doesn't do anything, then you can use anything against him. Not trapping. You can throw a street fighting haymaker from an untrained guy and you're gonna win because he's just passive. Okay, but you want to use techniques that work against active attacks. Okay, like evading, countering, intercepting, moving. Okay, not trying to stop his hand, remove his hand, punch his face. Come on, even slightly common sense will tell you the probability of failing of this is too high. Okay, so this new technique, finger jab to the groin. Yeah, meatballs, definitely. Target meatballs. So Robert round up because at least Junfang Kung Fu was at least begging to strip down the unnecessary. Yeah, and this is it was begging to strip down the unnecessary. Yes, and the Jeet Kune is eventually the result of this process. Okay. Yeah, I know you wanted to make me laugh. No problem. So Daka, you were smarter. You were out in 1 day. I spent over 5 months. Yes. Oh, you were okay. Well, because I had this. I literally after the training, when we were in the locker room with all the guys, with no trainer, I told the guys, "Hey guys, you know you don't train Jeet Kune Do here." They were watching at me like this. And I said, "You know the fighting method books? You know the stance of Jeet Kune Do and the techniques of Jeet Kune Do and how you move, the steps and everything." Because what they were training was literally boxing. Modern boxing, small stance, weak side forwards, static, jab, jab, cross hook, jab, jab, cross hook. That was the first combination we were doing in the school. And then some trapping. And they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me. Unbelievable. Well, it's really, you know, the moment you step into a dojo, you go through a dojo door, and the brainwashing starts. Okay. Roland Diaz, did Jeet Kune Do change from Seattle to LA? In Seattle, there was no Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do term was used for the first time 1967. I think it was in Oakland period. And there is I'm not sure what student that was. What time is it? Okay. I'm not sure what student that was. I think it was maybe even John Little in an interview. It may even be him. He said, the guy said, when the free schools were, this is really, really funny. I mean, to realize this, Bruce had 3 schools, one in Seattle, one in Oakland, and one in LA. And in all these 3 schools were actually 3 different systems taught. And when you went in Seattle, and then you went in Oakland, and you went in LA, and all 3 schools are from Bruce Lee, but you would think they are different martial arts. Okay, so that's how different it was from each other. Roland Diaz. All throughout Bruce Lee's writings, he emphasized simplicity, yet Jeet Kune Do concept seems complicated. You think, yeah, that's true. Absolutely. There's no simplicity in JKD concepts, no directness, and no efficiency. In Jeet Kune Do concepts is literally training different martial arts and using techniques from different martial arts. Okay. Robert Van Darf, Roland, even the Seattle period was beginning to evolve, yes, away from Wing Chun, that's true. Even as the Bruce, he started pretty early to modify the Wing Chun. Even before even thinking about the new martial art or whatever. He was constantly about finding new ways that work better. Of course, at the beginning, he was like locked into Wing Chun, into this trapping, and how you can even make this trapping better. And then he moved eventually completely away from that. So his personality is actually the reason why Jeet Kune Do came, not because of Wing Chun, but because of Bruce Lee. Okay, Wing Chun has nothing to do with that. Even if Bruce Lee started out with karate instead of Wing Chun, he would eventually probably develop Jeet Kune Do and would have found his way into boxing and fencing. Here, there's a really interesting interview about a long-time student of Jeet Kune Do concepts, Matt Thornton, who left and started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It was too much when they had to train. Yeah, I have seen that. I've seen it. He was criticizing Jeet Kune Do the way I do here. But they were contradicting themselves. Okay, they were, and on the one hand they were talking about effectiveness, and on the other hand they were doing a bunch of stuff that don't work for real. And he didn't change to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think he changed to mixed martial arts. He even became professional fighter. I'm not sure. I don't. It doesn't really matter. But the thing is, the thing was, he was able to think for himself, and he saw the contradiction of this. And I think, but I still think he believes that Jeet Kune Do concepts is actually Jeet Kune Do. He doesn't even know about true original Bruce martial art. So, but Seattle still had done trapping. Yeah, I know. Okay, Dhaka. Jeet Kune Do concepts has a lot of stick clicking. Yes, that's true, because of Kali. So let's watch this a bit, and then we are almost finished. So what do we have here? Training insights. Training insights. I don't even know myself. You forget all your videos at some point. So okay, so here we train on the pads. Okay, so the first video I showed you, so here, the first video I showed you was more partner training, and this you can see some pad training, okay, where you repeat your techniques. How much younger Fabian here looks like, unbelievable. It's only 1 year, because he's all beard now. So now you see we are repeating the straight lead from movement, always doing this the push shuffle. Okay, now I'm doing the left corkscrew, and he's doing a lead hook. Okay, and then we switch. Now he is doing the left corkscrew, and I'm doing left hook variations, and he's also doing now I'm doing right hook, he's doing left hook. So okay, so you don't always have to go fast. Sometimes you go slow. You concentrate on your form, okay, and then you can also go faster, as you can see here. So we go now a bit faster as you warmed up. So when you do these drills, you can concentrate on different things, on the footwork, on snapping in the hand, or on concentrating on using the hip. Okay, so you always try to make your body mechanics better on different parts of the technique, different levels of the technique. Okay, because there's so much in one technique. I can show you one technique. You can work or a half year only on this technique to make it footwork better, make the hip, make the hand better, make the execution better. And now we are kicking on the front kick, so we're just repeating. Okay, I can't use a front kick at this moment with my right leg because of my ankle. So you can see it here. Okay, repeating. Usually we do these drills for 5 minutes, and then next drill 5 minutes. So we do this straight 5 minutes long. Okay, so you do some 80 kicks or something, because we're two guys. So you can do different footwork. You can concentrate on snapping back. You can, like here, you can go to the left. You can pivot. Okay, now I'm gonna pivot. I'm going there and then pendle back. Okay, step forward, step forward. So now the side kicks. Okay, slow. We go for the side kicks. So when you train like this, the time it passes so fast. Okay. So now we have also some application. Just evading, parrying, using footwork. Whoop. No countering, just evading. Okay. Now I do the counter. Okay, you see, always staying concentrated. Okay, let's go further. That's his turn, I think. Oh no, it's my turn. So some people are going to mistake parry with the trapping, but it's not the same. Okay. This is you just cover so you don't get hit. So what was that? Go here. Oh, no, so I'm attacking and he's countering. Sometimes you concentrate on intercepting. Sometimes you won't concentrate on evading. Sometimes and striking back. And sometimes you concentrate on evading and countering at the same time. And now we are training here. Bob and weaving, so going under the hook. Okay, so you see my hook is pretty tight, so I don't let him a lot of room. Okay, so still go here, and he should go to the groin when he goes down. Actually, yeah, now it's my turn. But yeah, this is pretty heavy because he's so much smaller than me. As a tall person, you wouldn't go under his punch. Okay, you would step back usually. But as I want to practice this as well, I have to do it as well. So because I'm bigger than most people, so you can also here block at the counter at the same time. Go under and then go to the side. Never stay in front of the opponent. Okay, always move. Always move. Okay, see it here. So now some kicks. Oh, now we counter with kicks. Okay, he's coming in. I'm using legs. Okay, as easy as, and always never tense. Stay. Relax as much as you can and focus on the targets instead of what he's doing. This was this stop kick. Look here. You see here? This is the stop kick. Okay. What they say, jig tag for that. Some people they are all about this Chinese technique words which Bruce actually never used. Okay, so you can see it there. There I was using it. Again, there. So you actually, when you do this here, you also push through the knee, which I don't do here, of course. So you should also, with this, damage the knee, okay? Not just stop the guy. So now apparently we're using everything. Okay, that's it. So. Okay. A lot of training, a lot of repetitions, and eventually you get there, okay? So, Jeet Kune concept says a lot of stick clicking. Yes, Matt Thornton said that concept camp even started to train its Systema. Oh my god. Okay. If Matt Thornton met Tommy, he would have stayed with JKD. Maybe. Not if he's after money, you know, because you can't make really money with this. Even me. Look, I'm the only full instructor in Jeet Kune under Tommy, outside of UK. In UK, there's another one, and I barely make any money with this. So. Okay. Because there's no tournaments. There's no organizing big tournaments, pricings. There's no prestige behind the street fighting system. Okay. I know you're 6'5". Fabian looks really short next to you. How tall he is he? He's slightly under 6. No, he's... I have to translate that in foot. Okay. Uh, 5'10". He's 5'10" or 5'11", something around this. Would you be open to be interviewed by other YouTubers? If not, of course I would, yeah. I was confused the first time I actually watched Paul Wuna concepts videos. You know, instead of using hooks, finger jabs, moving away, staying efficient, same old stuff. Gung Fu, what is Fabian's JKD background? Is he a student of you or Tom? Well, he's my student. Okay, he's in my school since 2010, so since 12 years now. He had no martial arts background before that. He doesn't train so much. Okay, usually he trains like 3 times a week. Once with me, and 2 times in the class. That's his training schedule, 3 times a week. Okay, so basically, you know, that the usual amateur martial artist. He isn't like putting extra training when I'm not there. Okay, to put it that way. So only if I'm around, he's training. So Roland Diaz, I suggested this to the Jeet Kune dialogues over a month ago. I don't think this guy's like me. He did 2 interviews with Tommy, but I don't think, because they know I have a channel and they know how I criticize trapping and all these things, okay, on my videos, and you know what is not Jeet Kune, what is Jeet Kune, blah blah blah, and they are very much what I criticize, so I don't think he's going to do any interview with me and give me more attention. Okay, so that's what I think. Do you teach back fist and elbows? Back fist, of course. Back fist is a variation of the straight lead, of the straight lead. Okay, and elbows we teach only, you know, when the opponent can't be reached with a hand technique. So usually it's on the side, on behind you. That's when you would use elbows. In Jeet Kune also here, always thinking nearest target, the closest technique, or the technique that you can use to this target as quickly, as efficient as possible. So, you know, head is here, elbow is here, okay, where you can't use the back fist because it's too long. Daka, don't give me started with Paul Wunak. I wasted lots of money on his VHS tapes. I know, man. I think these tapes cost like $100 per tape back in the day. Also Bob Breen. I had these video cassettes of Bob Breen. Jeet Kune boxing, Jeet Kune Kali, Jeet Kune grappling, Jeet Kune knife fighting. Who is 6'1"? Paul Wunak is 6'1"? Really? Hey Lucas, who is 6'1"? Okay. My wife is screaming in the background at the kids. I think I should stop the stream slowly but surely. How do you decide between throwing straight lead or eye jab? So usually when you can reach the eye, go to the eye. Okay. No, Fabian is no 6'1". 6'1" is like 185. Okay, well, 6 foot is 182. Okay, 6 foot is 182, 182 and a half. That's 6 foot. 6'1", he would be 185. He's like 178. What's your size? What's your height, Lucas? Yeah, I mean, my wife doesn't support me in this stuff at all, so I have to fight on many fronts, you know, family, work, my own body. I mean, what does it mean she doesn't support me? But it's like, you know, where is no money behind, why do it? So that's the motto. Okay, so although I had make some good money in the past, okay, just not at this moment. Okay, so guys, I would say that's enough. Okay, and don't forget to hear. Okay, watch these videos. Okay, comment these videos. It's really important to comment and to give it a like, because always this helps YouTube algorithm, and so these videos get spread to other people. So only that's the only way how you can grow this Jeet Kune channel. Okay, and can Bruce Lee beat a heavyweight despite being? Yes, of course. Just kicking in the nuts. That's it. This live stream has been more educational than all the tapes on JKD. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Daka. Okay, guys. So I think you're welcome, Robert. I think you guys, you can stay still in the chat and chat a bit, and I'm gonna keep it running for a while, and we see you next time, guys. Bye. you.